spend my time revving hearts, feeling the rush inside. Every twist and turn, I leave worries behind. With precision, I on the ride. Reaches beneath the stars, my passion. Let it fly. Let the engine speed me by. Let tomorrow come. Feel the pulse in the sky. Turn the key, got
What's up, everybody? David from Flash by Vcyclenut. R9 is on the Dyno, or my R9. Yep, that's my R9. If you've watched my other videos, you know I got an R9 a couple weeks ago. Did its break-in at the track, honestly, and was working on my throttle maps. So I needed to get all new baseline numbers with my R9 versus the other R9s. And as you can see, really the 25 CP3s, the three that I've had on my dyno, are extremely consistent. So I'm just going to get you the stock dyno run with my stock bike flash. I changed over the intake over to DNA Stage 2 lid, and I'll get you the runs of what that looks like with my mapping. And then I'll start tearing into this baby, and the first exhaust that I have to test with it is that Spark Full system that's so pretty. So, yeah, check it out. You may have noticed that the sound rating was considerably lower than when I tested the 24 MTO, my 24 MTO9 with the same exhaust intake and all that stuff. And that's just because I pulled the microphone or the decibel reader a lot farther away from the bike, so that when I go to the aftermarket exhaust, instead of that almost all of them reading greater than 130, well, actually can get some meaningful data so you can compare one to the other at full sync. So this is what my 25 R9 made on my dyno before I touched anything. And this shows the last three 25 CP3 motored bikes I've had on my dyno. Dimitri with a 25 MTO9 that was all stock. The other R9 that I had here before I touched it, and then now my R9. And that's pretty amazing how similar they all are. So pretty cool. To see the consistency there across bikes. This is what my bike made all stock without touching anything after my flash. I'll put another run up in a second to compare it to where it was stock. But you can see nice smooth power curve, over 115 horsepower, which is right in line with what Manny's R9 made when it was stock and I flashed it. And this is what it looks like when we compare where it was stock to where it is now. Now it's got the DNA Stage 2 lid in it, but this run just shows a stock airbox, all stock versus all stock, with the only change is my mapping. You get the 4 throttle modes that all make full power, full throttle. Power mode 1 is my street mode, 2, 3, and 4 are my track mode. I do have a throttle response curve on my website, and it is in my last track day video that I did. The bike is smoother, just better response all around, not just more power. And these are two 5th gear runs. Let's look at what it looked like stock in 2nd gear versus what it looks like now. And these runs are pretty crazy. If you've ridden a Gen 4 CP3 motored bike, you know the mapping in 2nd gear is just absolutely atrocious, and you can see it here. The red line is 2nd gear all stock with the stock mapping, and now the blue line is with my mapping, and you can see just a completely different animal altogether. And it's obviously in the stock mapping. If you haven't ridden one, it's hard to believe how bad it is. You roll into it, doesn't go anywhere. You shift into 3rd gear, and it actually accelerates harder than it does in 2nd gear. Just woeful and poor. So, of course, the flash fixes that completely, as you can see here. And these runs just show the difference that the DNA Stage 2 lid makes compared to the stock airbox when combined with the stock pipe. I do think the gains are larger with the aftermarket pipes that I've seen. You can go back and look at my other videos, and you'll see it generally makes a little bit larger gain than this in the middle. But here, we got a little bit loss on top, a little bit gain in the middle. Nothing really to write home about. I wouldn't spend the money on it with the stock pipe if it was me. But if you have it, I do have mapping specific for it to take advantage of it as much as possible. So head on over to Vcyclenut.com for your very best in flashing needs and performance parts. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos. Be continuing my R9 development with more street tuning, a dyno tuning, and then once spring comes, I will be doing a bunch of track days on it to for anything else that I need to dial in on it. But right now, it feels really good. I love the maps, the throttle maps that I came with up with at the racetrack, and that power mode one is just a hoot on the street. So thanks guys for watching. Really appreciate y'all.